I don't know.
If someone were to like take in a bubble and then I forgot it forever, my dream, my wish from when I turned 18 years old. Good.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Down Once More. Matt here, and I am joined by Brad to finally bring you the review of Disney's Wish. So, Brad,
About time.
how's it going? It's been about a month.
You kept
Since
canceling
we've
on me,
tried this.
and it's disappointing.
Well, I seem to remember that you just had shit internet, and we tried for like 45 minutes one night, and then I was gone, you were gone, all sorts of stuff.
Scream for ice cream.
You would think that we were trying to like record something about it, like a ridiculously sacrilegious movie or something, that we were just getting punished. But
we'll wait for the episode. Maybe we are.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we are talking about all the hidden messages in Wish subliminal messaging. Before we get into this, I just have to tell you about one of the most random things I heard walking out of the UPS store last week. There was a couple, typical Midwestern couple, I would say, where
they were
white. They were white. And the guy was talking to the lady, and he's like, Scheels just don't play no good music anymore. And if you're not familiar with Scheels, it is a mostly hunting themed sporting goods store. You can buy your soccer balls and your rifles and shotguns at the same time. And they usually have a shitload of taxidermy there. I don't know about you. I wouldn't have them pegged as the musical pinnacle. I don't think I would go there just for some good old fashioned music. I couldn't tell you really any store that I've been into, the music that speaks to me. But I just thought that was one of the most random conversations I had heard walking out of a UPS store. And also,
I think the same kind of person that goes to Texas Roadhouse for a fancy dinner is the same kind of person that's getting their music recommendations from the Scheels DJ. So
that's fair.
Basically, I think that you're in the minority in your city for people that look to Scheels as the paragon of musical excellence.
It's fair. I stand corrected. I'm clearly in the wrong here.
Maybe Scheels could play the album Tiger Blood by Waxahachie and raise their level in this guy's viewpoint. Great record I've been really into recently. Just plugging that. Waxahachie, if you want to come on the podcast, we'd love to get your take as a musician on Broadway musicals. Thank you.
There you go, Waxahachie. I like how now you've just fully transformed to a record person. They're not albums, they're records. It's a great record I've been listening to.
I find that it makes me better than other people.
That's fair. Also, you got to do something about your camera angle. For the people who are watching on YouTube, it just looks like his head is just sitting on his microphone. The microphone is bigger than the rest of anything right now.
Know what? I normally thank you. I normally prop this wild.
Up. Okay. There's something different. It just looks. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
Got a lot
How many
of
those books are theology books?
None of them. They're all magic books and philosophy books. I don't read theology books.
I was talking to my now former boss at work today, and he was talking about how he has his theology class from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. tonight at church. And I said, hey, you're into that? I would say this about anything, not just theology, but a Wednesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. theology class. Sounds like my nightmare.
Is this for credit, or is this just for like eternal credit?
No, he's an elder at his church. So it's
what
the
church?
whole thing. I don't remember. He knows someone and what you went to Moody with, but I don't remember who. But that's enough of random stuff. Do you
This
have
will all
random
get cut.
stories, Bradley? Nope. I'm leaving all of this in.
I'm sure I do, but none of them are coming to mind.
Getting back into things. By the time this episode comes out, the prevalence of the Hawk Tuah girl will probably be past. But I don't know about you. I have not seen a meme take over things so quickly, and also one that I have gotten annoyed with so quickly. I was enjoying my monkey, my Steve Zahn monkey from the Planet of the Apes movie. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That was my go-to. Like busting up. That was my Instagram feed, my Discover page, filled with the monkey memes. Oh no. And then it got replaced by Hawk Tuah.
So my algorithm was not overwhelmed with Hawk Tuah. But the algorithm of the podcasts I listened to were, of like the podcasters I listened to were. So I'm like 3 degrees of separation from the Hawk Tuah meme. I really haven't seen that many things, but I've heard people talking about it a lot. And apparently there's now to be merch and potentially a reality show. And I've been really into a couple Zach Bryan records recently, and a buddy of mine was just like, "Did you hear he had the Hawk Tuah girl up on stage with him?" I had no idea. I don't know why.
Yep.
But it sounds like she's like a real redneck.
Yeah. Well, and probably Zach Bryan's girlfriend is a podcaster, and she was on her podcast too. So that could be part of it that brought her in, because it was her first interview that she did was with Brie on Plan Brie Uncut. But
there you go.
Fun fact. So Wish, the Disney movie that came out last year, early this year, either tail end of 2023, early 2024. It was a theater
came
release.
Out fall 2023, and then was released to streaming maybe January.
Okay. So that's what we're talking about today. It's been a while since we've done a musical review, just because life has been crazy to get to record this episode. But it stars Ariana DeBose and Chris Pine are the two main characters in it. Ariana DeBose may recognize from West Side Story, and Chris Pine you may recognize from lots of things, but musical related. He was in Into the Woods. So the movie version of Into the Woods. And so before we get into too much about this, because I honestly don't have a ton of notes on this, which I'm famous for saying and then going on for an hour about. But Disney musicals as a whole, and just movies in general, we grew up very kind of restricted in what we could watch. We were not allowed to watch Shrek growing up because it had to be previewed, and then it was deemed to be too vulgar. Do you preview movies for your kids? No, I didn't think so.
Why? Because my philosophy is, I would rather them see something that I have to explain when we're together than somewhere else, and I have no context for it. So if there's lots of fart jokes and that kind of stuff, like my kids go to public school. We weren't allowed to go to public school.
Nope, homeschool.
They go to public school,
way, baby.
Like the things they're going to hear at school are going to top anything in any movie that I would consider showing them. So I'm pretty hands off.
That's the other thing. Some of it's just you do some common sense. Like you're not going to sit down and crack open because you crack open movies. I don't know if you were aware. The old VHS cases, though, the old VHS cases did have a distinct kind of like crack, like kind of satisfying sound that I miss from now that we're in the digital media phase. But you're not going to throw like Nightmare on Elm Street on or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm
But
not going to be
use some
like,
common
hey,
sense.
Adeline,
Not for at least a year or
Quentin
two.
Tarantino said Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a perfect movie. Let's analyze it together. Like, that's not going to happen. So
No.
if it's targeted towards kids, I just assume it's going to be okay enough that we can have a conversation about the things that she might.
What are your thoughts, though, if the movie has metaphors for periods? And talks about periods like turning red.
When we watched Turning Red, Adeline was just like, Mom, is that kind of like your period? So it's really okay.
Not a big deal.
Yeah,
it's fine.
She already knew. It's like not an issue. Like the backlash to that movie, where people
I think
like, we don't want to tell children that women have bodies. Like, it's ridiculous. God, you know that natural thing that happens to almost every woman once a month?
We did jinx at the beginning of this and said that your internet was doing better, and now it is frozen like 3 times during this. So
yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I think our kind of introduction to musicals was probably similar to a lot of people around our age, that Disney musicals was kind of our first taste and segue into that world. Would you agree?
Absolutely. But we also should preface, not all Disney musicals, Matt.
No.
There were some that were off limits. Tell the good people what we were not allowed to watch as children.
Hercules, False Gods.
Why?
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Bad.
Esmeralda was
Sin.
hot.
Esmeralda. Bad Gypsies.
I think that was the reason.
And then
I think that was it. I think
those were the main ones.
Open to us.
We were not allowed to watch Babe Pig in the City. We left the theater because there's a scene where Mrs. Hoggett gets cavity searched.
It wasn't that we weren't allowed to watch. You and Mom left in the middle of the movie, and Pops and I stayed till the end. We left Hercules.
Apparently I blocked that out.
Our parents took us to see Hercules.
Why did we leave?
It was just a bad movie.
It was just a bad movie.
It's a horrible movie.
Like, the first Babe also isn't that
not
great.
Good. No.
Not great.
No, but the bar was low. So our
low.
Folks took us to see Hercules. In the theaters. Do you remember this? We went to Hercules and we left in the middle of Hercules as a family because of the False Gods. And it was one of those things where it just like made sense.
That's one of the common sense things.
But
like,
then
the fuck
you
did
think
you
about
think
it, it's just like, whoa. You took us to a movie about Hercules. What did you think? They were just going to be like, and the gods weren't real. Like, only the one true God do we worship in this film. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And as we know, Zeus is a metaphor for the power of the sky. Like, no. So that was one. And then the other thing, so we got a little bit of Hercules as a kid. And then growing up, Go the Distance is one of my favorite Disney songs. That song goes so hard. But then we were given, they were like, as a promo, for Hunchback of Notre Dame, they were handing out these tiny little CDs with some of the songs. And so we had and listened to some of the music from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but it was the visual, and we were children, and our mom used the word seductive. No, the girl in the movie is too seductive.
Yep. She learned it from 50 Cent's candy shop. So seductive.
Look, Esmeralda was so seductive that Disney wrote an entire song for Judge Claude Frollo about burning for her. And just like how like hard up he is. Like,
that song
is
great though. I love Hellfire.
That's such a good song. Frollo might be the best Disney villain. We'll talk about villains later when we get into Wish,
yes,
but Frollo has my pick for the best Disney villain.
it is great. I had seen a comment on something that was talking about best like opening numbers for musicals, and it was like a Watch Mojo video, like the ones that grab us right away. And someone had commented the musical version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the opening there with the bells of Notre Dame is amazing. And I'm like, I didn't know The Hunchback of Notre Dame was turned into like a full musical and more. So I started listening to it. It is fantastic. There is a recording. It has some additional songs, a little darker. I mean, I will say The Hunchback of Notre Dame is a fairly dark kids movie. Like it's pretty fucking intense.
Yeah.
A great movie though, but it's intense. But the musical, there's a 2016 studio cast recording, and it is really good. Highly recommend. So there's my Hunchback of Notre Dame plug. And I still haven't listened to. Brad has listened to a Jeremy Jordan musical soundtrack before I have. Which I'm shocked because you're the big like I'm not going to listen to anything until I see it. I want to see it. So what caused you to listen to The Great Gatsby Broadway cast recording soundtrack?
Part of the reason that I don't listen to soundtracks before I see the musical is they often give away the plot and the tension that's built for the denouement. Like that's one of the most cathartic experiences of seeing a production either on film or on stage end to end. So I don't want to like relieve that tension. That being said, I've read Gatsby.
That's fair. Okay.
So I'm very familiar with, and I love the book. I love the book Gatsby. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Baz Luhrmann movie.
I'm not a big Baz Luhrmann fan in general.
I'm not
like
either.
His style just isn't for me.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. I haven't seen the Elvis because of how little I liked the Gatsby movie. And I recognize that he's very creative and he's a great director with a very particular style. And I think that's awesome. It's not for me, dog. And so I wanted to know, when they did the musical, are they going to do the Baz Luhrmann thing and kind of play with the genre, make it more contemporary, or are they going to try to make it feel like it's in the 20s?
What's the answer?
And so that's why I listened to it. Well, I think you'll have to listen to it and find out. But
what were your opinions on it?
I thought that it was exactly what you would expect.
I think it was nominated for some like costuming Tonys, but not really anything else. If I remember right, up,
and I think that actually might be the best description of my experience listening to it. Is I listened to the soundtrack, I looked up to see if it was nominated for any Tonys. When I saw it was the costume one, I was like, that makes sense. So
yeah, that's fair.
I think Jordan was was Gatsby, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple really good songs written for Gatsby. But in all, to me, it had the feel of a playbook, hoping that high schools will pick it up to perform.
I see that. I can see that.
Not one that's really pushing boundaries musically, thematically. It's just very much like, oh, this is exactly what I would expect a Gatsby musical to sound like. So it didn't make me want to rush to the theater or hit the replay.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's what The Outsiders is, the big one that came away as the winner at the Tonys. And that's interesting.
That's
just so many adaptations have been coming to Broadway. It's insane. I don't know if that's for better or for worse. I love me a good musical adaptation, but I feel like the more adaptations that they keep cranking out that are met with success, the less originality they're going to get.
We've seen the
Because
same thing
they're gonna have the
in
producers
movies.
go with the safe choice. Yeah,
Yep.
agreed. You're getting more remakes, sequels. It's what's safe. It's what they'll invest money in.
Yeah.
They know they'll probably get their investment back, and we're losing a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
creativity.
safer to expect the tourists from Iowa to buy a ticket to Gatsby than something that they've never heard of. So Matt,
Yes.
we were introduced to Disney movies
Mm-hmm.
very early on, and like you said, that's our first and earliest introduction to musicals.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about, some of the Disney movies that we weren't allowed to watch. One of the other things we weren't allowed to read or watch as kids was Harry Potter.
Yep.
Putting those together, let me ask you this. Would we as children have been allowed to watch Wish?
See, here's the thing. Our boundaries were just so fucking inconsistent. If the Disney would have come out and said that Wish was written by a Christian author, yes. Definitely. Because that's kind of, if there's any kind of parallel that you can draw upon, message to be taught. Because most
Harry
Disney
Potter,
movies
bad.
have some kind
Narnia, or
of magic.
Narnia, Lord of the Rings, good.
Great. And yeah, I think we would have been able to see Wish still. I don't think it wasn't, because we were able to see some with witches. It, like I said, it was just so inconsistent. If it was a classic, yes. Newer ones, they were assumed to be a little more selective on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Now, that being said, you have children. I take it you have watched Wish with your children. What did they think of it? I'm getting right into, we'll get to what you and I thought of it at the end, but right now, what were your kids' opinion on this movie?
My
Opinions.
kids both loved it. Absolutely
Really?
adored it. It was the only thing we listened to for like a month. Every time we got in
Wow.
the car. Like to this day, I'll just 2 days ago, my kids found my like little step stool. They pulled it out and they took turns climbing at the top rung and go, "A revolution hit the ground running," and just like jump and run off. Right? Like made a huge impression on them. That being said, if it's animated and it has songs that are catchy, they love everything. And I think there are points where you can see that Disney knows that and takes advantage of that.
I agree wholeheartedly. Let's just now jump into kind of what worked and what didn't, and just kind of overall thoughts with it. I went into this with kind of lower expectations because I knew it didn't get super great reception to it, but I didn't know a ton about it, and so I went into this, and I don't know. I felt like this was one of the lazier Disney movies I have seen in a long time. I started out, I'm like, I really like this animation style that they chose to use, where it's like a mix of looking 3D and hand drawn. And then I quickly turned on it. I'm like, well, this is just annoying. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it was the mood when I watched this. I felt like it was one of the weaker opening songs to a musical ever.
Hmm.
I did not like Welcome to Rosas at all. I like
Interesting.
most of these songs. My favorite song in this, well, I'm jumping ahead. Favorite song kind of then was the This Wish reprise at the end. Like that's my top song. And then a song I both love and hate is This Is the Thanks I Get. Because that song is very catchy, but it does not fit the tone of that moment in the musical at all and what that character is going through. It is an upbeat pop song where it's like the going through the big reveal that he's actually a jackass and selfish and only cares about himself overall. Well, That's not exactly true. He justifies it that he's caring for roses and what's best for them. But I I don't know. I felt like tonally the songs were all over the place with this. I like some variety. Um I thought Ariana DeBose is a very strong lead in this. I think she is insanely talented, has a great voice. Her performance at the Tonys, notwithstanding, giving live performances is hard. Um, but I
Idina
thought she was
Menzel had
great
a
in this.
horrible Tony performance. Or was it Grammys when she
Yeah,
did Let It Go?
yeah,
And no one's
um,
saying Idina Menzel can't absolutely sing.
100%. And Alan Tudyk always gives 1,000% in any role he is. He's fantastic. Like, I love almost anything he's in. He's great. I think my first introduction to him was in A Knight's Tale, and he is so good in that. And I thought he's great in this at whatever the fuck the goat's name is. But I I don't know. I That was just kind of word vomit, nothing to do with what worked and what didn't. Just my initial kind of thoughts on it. So you say some shit now.
Yeah, I think one of the things you touched on that I completely agree with is the animation style is beautiful. I actually really like the kind of pulling back from what computer graphics can do, because we can make animation look so hyper real now that I appreciate them taking a more stylistic approach. And I think it worked really, really beautifully. And it was a kind of nice middle ground between what our modern technology can do and like the drawing animations that Disney started with. Like it
Yeah.
felt like a great visual representation. I agree. I think Asha is a great lead. Um, I think the like you said, This Wish reprise, the climax and just the emotional just catharsis there at the end is so amazingly done. I really think that that's an incredible climactic moment and scene in song, and I think it worked together really well. Um, I don't know that I agree necessarily that This Is the Things I Get doesn't work tonally,
Yeah.
because I think it works really great if you see Magnifico as kind of a goober. He's super shallow and indulgent and self-deluded,
Okay.
and that's where that's coming from. And then the really kind of conniving, dark Magnifico is the evil magic kind of taking him over. So it's kind of a possession thing, and that's
Okay.
what's coming out of him and really causing him to be conniving and calculated and like dark. It's his choice to let that magic consume him, and the queen basically says as much. Like, you don't know what it's going to do to you. Like, what if you can't control it? So I think This Is the Things I Get is a really good song to kind of show where he's at in that. And he's just like, I'll give you the cloak off Benito's back if you really needed that, right? Like, he's just like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
like, I am so good. I am exactly what you need. I give you everything you need, actually, from taking from you, which is the truly dark thing and really kind of the haunting thing. What makes him a real villain is he knows that the wish is the best thing about people, and he takes it from them and keeps it for their entire lives and decides that
Yeah.
he's going to give it back. And Asha
Yeah.
recognizes that's evil right there, and he's like, no, like, this is good. Like, I am helping you. It's kind of a, you know, the delusion of a fascist um authoritarian. And so there's I think that works. um and I also think Disney kind of took a leap with Magnifico, because they haven't had a villain since Tangled. um and
Really?
Tangled was what, 08? Yeah.
Damn, I had any villains?
Who's the villain
I'm
in
not as up to
Moana?
date. I have 0 children,
Who's the
so
villain in Frozen? Frozen 2. Um,
Hans. I haven't
Hans is
watched Frozen in a
kind
long
of the
time.
villain, but not. He's not the one really driving the conflict throughout the film. It's really Elsa's path. So this is the first true villain. There's bad people in some of the movies, but
Okay.
true villain, I would say, since Tangled. Um, so I think that they had to try to find something to make him compelling. Um, I ultimately think Magnifico doesn't crack the top 5, probably not even the top 10 for Disney villains. We've seen so many great
No.
Disney villains, and he doesn't quite get there.
I and again, I've only watched this once, and it was about a month ago now.
Mhm.
He does not have any redemption at the end of this, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
There's a chance that
That
he's supposed to be the dude trapped in the mirror in Snow White.
mm, okay. I can see that. Um I I think that's one of the things I had with it. Problems I had with it. Cuz I think At All Costs is one of the most like beautiful touching songs where you just are looking at it on a surface level. Where you pay attention a little bit more and you can kind of see how it's
Yeah.
driven him like a little bit into madness. He's like, these are beautiful dreams, and he's not looking at what he's taking from people. He's looking at, these are things that need to be protected, but I can only grant them to people if I can guarantee that there's only positive outcomes that come from this because of the tragedies that he's had in his life. So I felt like his character had potential to be a sympathetic villain, and kind of along with what you're saying, they decided to make it where he doesn't have any kind of redemption arc or see the errors in his ways. He goes down the rabbit hole the other way with it.
But Disney doesn't
And
really
so I
do
thought that
sympathetic villains.
was interesting. I don't know that I didn't love this movie. I thought there were some songs that clicked. I thought it had some of the most variety that we've seen in a Disney movie from musical styles. It
Yeah.
is all over the place, and it's up to different people's preference if you like that or if you like to have some like tonal consistency with it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of neat that we got something a little bit something for everyone. Um, I just I had a problem with Welcome to Roses. I did not think it was particularly good or catchy. It is just insane exposition dump. But not in a good way. Like another example of that is the Family Madrigal from Encanto, right? I felt like that was super well done. It was catchy. It introduces you to everyone, kind of sets up the stage for it, and you're there. Welcome to Rosas, I didn't feel like had really, it's easily forgettable in my opinion, but again, I don't have children. Maybe your kids love this song. I felt like it was easily forgettable. I didn't feel it was particularly um I don't know, I didn't love it. I don't like that when you're setting up your entire musical. I like having a catchy thing that's going to stick with you, set the tone for what you're getting into. I don't know.
If it tells you anything, um, my kids always ask me to start the soundtrack with knowing what I know now.
Okay.
So I think
Good.
I would
Children agree with me.
agree that it's not the strongest opening song. I don't know that I would say it's a total failure. Things though that I think just didn't work for me.
Wait, they skip.
Um,
This is the thanks I get.
well, then we go
Like,
back.
I
We
don't
listen
love
through.
I'm a star.
That
I'm kind
whole
of surprised
sequence.
they start at knowing what I know now.
I don't. things that didn't work for me. What the hell does the star do? Like, it's powerful, but it makes
looks
things
cute.
talk.
They
like
can.
That
This movie had some of the most like
random.
Disney is sucking their own dick so hard with this movie.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to say. All the cameos, they were just like, we need 100 references to Disney movies for our 100th anniversary. No, you don't. And some of it's just like Peter Pan in a little wish bubble. And some of it's just like, you named the bunny Thumper, and the deer's Bambi, and the bear's John. Like, it's just so forced. It didn't work for me.
At the end, you had Peter Pan himself looking different. That Magnifico's wife's like, this is Peter. And the biggest the part that I almost out loud just said, fuck you to this movie, was when they closed out with Sabo, who wanted to make a difference place of where he's playing the When You Wish Upon a Star. And that just made me angry. I was just like, oh,
I think that's fair. I think that's
Disney.
fair. Did you pick up
your
on
entire thing with this movie?
Did you pick up on the Asha's friends being the dwarves?
Yep, sure did. Just dressed identically to Dopey, and like Dopey was the main one that I clocked. Like,
yeah, and then as soon as you clock Dopey, you're like, oh, they all are, and they fall in place.
And they were doing
the fact
things
that
are
they
like,
just
how about Neverland, and something about popping this one. I'm like, come on, like there were too many on the nose things that weren't clever. Like, if it would have been put in there cleverly, I would respect that. I would tip my cap. Totally. But this was just, it seemed lazy and just trying to force these in. They're like, it's our 100th anniversary.
It absolutely was. And so that didn't work. Just accepting the narc, no questions asked, and him being like, I didn't want to know what it was like. I didn't want to live without my wish anymore. Stop. You still don't narc. What's wrong with you? Get out of here. No. Like, and they're like, oh, we get it, man.
Which
come on.
Nope. Simon was played by Evan Peters, who's in a lot of things.
Okay.
Fairly big name actor. Random small role for him.
Yeah.
Like,
so that didn't work for me. The star just in general didn't work for me. The star song does nothing for me. I think largely the family dynamics with Asha and Sabo and her mom and like her dead dad, they're like, well, it's a Disney movie, we got to kill some parent. Largely just like not super interesting. They don't really flesh that out. So I think that it's a visually really nice movie with some really good music that I think is a one to rewatch if you can't think of anything else. I think it's a good B to B plus movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
it's fine.
I think I'd give it like a 2.5 or 3 stars on the little what's the letterbox. Like probably 3 stars. It's good. That's about all I can say.
Yeah. I genuinely do think that the This Wish reprise there at the end, like that, I do think is one of the better Disney musical songs that has come out. Just the crescendo, and like you said, everything kind of culminating, and the village, the town standing up as one. That moment, I thought genuinely good, fantastic, and how it was performed. Like, I had some goosebumps during that scene in the movie. So that was great. Like, it's worth watching for that scene alone.
Yeah.
But as someone without kids, I don't think I'm ever going to go back and rewatch this movie. Like, there wasn't enough that worked for me, that drew me into it. There's so many other musicals in general, even specifically Disney ones, that I'm going to gravitate to before this. A Goofy movie, top of the list. So I
Yeah, I would put this in the safe family pizza movie night choice.
That's
People are
fair.
going to be interested enough to watch it. But
One
if
thing
you're
I
looking
did
for
know,
a quality movie night, it's not it.
this did have like some kind of like deep stuff, like right around At All Costs when Asha sees everything that happened. And there's a line there like, I don't remember if Asha says or Magnifico says it. Because I didn't put down who said it, but the line about no one should ever have to feel their dreams shatter before their eyes. No one should have to deal with that pain every day. I'm like, kind of heavy to be dropping in a Disney movie. Like that stuff that people, I mean, let's be honest. The majority of us, our dreams do not come true. As you get older, as an adult, you snap back to reality. You're like, okay, what is realistic for me? What I can make happen and that I have control of?
I'll
What is a
never be 6'2".
realistic dream I can have? Not the dream that I had when I was younger that I think will actually be something that I can do with my life. But
Dude,
I don't know.
if someone were to like take in a bubble and then I forgot it forever, my dream, my wish from when I turned 18 years old. Good. Like, maybe Magnifico was on the right track. And what
Maybe it's not
this
something.
this bullshit thing that you think is your world as an 18-year-old, I'm just going to hold on to that for you. Go do something productive. Hey, no, you're not going to be an NFL superstar. Go on. Like, you're 5'9" and you can't bench the bar. Go on. Like, no. So I think it's a really weird
I mean,
kind of thing. I also think like there's nothing objectionable about this movie. This is, I mean, yeah, we're saying it didn't really
no.
stand out, but like there's nothing to get mad about in this movie. There's no political stand. I mean, you can kind of be like they're against big government. Like if anything, it's conservative coded. Or like
Yeah.
maybe anti-fascist because I don't know. But like you really have to like dig deep before you strike gold on any sort of political or like ideological stand that they're taking in this movie. It's just, hey, King's taking charge. It's not right for him to hold on to the wishes. Now he went evil. So,
I
look, it's just
yeah.
fine.
It is.
It's fine with a fantastic ending, which makes it worth a watch.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Um I don't really have like any other notes. Like I said, it was little on this. We kind of crammed all of it together. One thing I do want to do, ending notes or talking points, because we're talking about some Disney musicals in general. And right now, Disney's doing their whole thing. They have been for the past 5-10 years, where they're doing live action remakes of everything. Like that's what they're
Yeah.
going to the well with. We're gonna get the Lion King prequel, Mufasa. That's going to be a musical, which
Yeah.
could be interesting. The
Nope.
director they got for it, I believe, is Barry Jenkins, if I'm remembering right. Just like an insanely talented director who's won
Sure.
awards, and it's a talented cast. I don't know. It could be interesting. But
No.
that's something kind of original, but you're still trying to tie into your other properties.
Prequels don't count.
I just, I don't, if there was an existing Disney movie that were they're like, we have to do one of our classic animated ones, or it could be a newer one. We're going to do a live action one. Which Disney movie would you want to see in live action if you had to?
Easy. Hercules. 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 Also, if you
Okay.
got the balls to make it PG-13, Hunchback.
That's what I was like. I was thinking of this. I'm like,
Look,
you could do,
but you can't make
really
that
good live
PG.
action Hunchback.
You can't make Hunchback PG. You can't do it.
Well, that's what listening to the musical recording, not the Disney one recording, they do a little more lean into some of the more adult themes in it. And I mean, the Disney one still has some fairly heavy adult themes in it and a subject matter. So
Frollo
it's
murks Quasimodo's mom on the cathedral steps and then it's about to drop him down a friggin' well.
That's like in the
5 minutes.
5-10 minutes.
He's a demon. Like, oh my gosh. Stop! Cried the Archbishop.
I'm actually kind of shocked there's not a live action Hunchback movie in general. Like, even not just the musical level.
Bet there's a French one.
That's what the French started doing. The Three Musketeers. They did like a Three Musketeers 2 or 3 part movie. Looking it up.
Yeah.
That was 1996. Ooh, there's a 1939 Hunchback of Notre Dame movie. There was a TV movie with Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin?
In 1956.
Wait a minute. Maybe they are redoing Hercules with Ariana Grande as Meg. That's what this clickbaity article looks like. Oh, I will be so pissed.
I actually could see Ariana Grande as Meg.
No.
Well,
she's too doughy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Meg is like very sultry.
Give
like,
me just
she's
like
got like
smoky.
the gravelly voice. Yeah, like you need someone like almost a
I've seen some shit. like who would be honestly? I was gonna say Emma Stone. How do we feel about Emma Stone?
I don't see her as Meg.
No,
at all.
Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't
know. I can't be Ariana. Can't be Ariana.
Does Meg have any songs? Meg doesn't have any songs in the movie.
Yeah, she does.
Does she?
She has the one in the garden after she and Herc are falling for each other.
You know who I want to see as Hercules, but he's too old and he won't get it? Alan Ritchson. Alan Ritchson played Jack Reacher in the Amazon series Reacher. He played Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State.
He would.
He can sing. Hercules. There's been videos of him singing, and he is fucking jacked. He would be fantastic as Hercules.
He would be.
He's probably Hercules. Older than what they're looking for in that. But
that's the thing is like
he has
can't
actually
cast him as Hercules, voice. And then Ariana Grande. I guess Ariana Grande is like 30 now.
Yeah, but I think Alan Ritchson is.
Like 40
see if I find it. Oof. I will find some because he did he did an American Idol 17 years ago. He was on American Idol.
No way.
Yeah.
He was just like, I just want to be famous. I don't care how.
I think so.
Oh man, everything we know about the Russo brothers live action Hercules movie.
Oh, it's Russo brothers?
Apparently.
You get DMCA'd on it. This could go longer. This isn't the one I'd seen. Okay. You were only waiting for this moment to rise. He has more from this one. He has more of like a boy band singing sound. I don't know about a Hercules.
I don't know why I'm not getting the call.
But I don't know. It'll be Russo brothers Hercules is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job with the Marvel movies, but then they've just had some not great stuff since then.
People are saying Noah Centineo for Hercules.
Yeah, you cut out, but I heard you say Noah, so I'm assuming you were saying Noah Centineo.
Yeah. Is it Centineo?
I think so. How'd you say it?
Centennial?
Maybe.
Tell us in the comments who's right.
You
got to do that on a podcast, Matt. You got to interact with the audience.
I know. I do. I really do. That's why the podcast doesn't grow. Oh, fun fact, our YouTube subscribers have like doubled this year. So
you're welcome.
We are growing.
Look, man, you bring in the eye candy, and then I'm there too.
Yeah, stay tuned after the credits of the episode.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, I don't have anything else for Wish. Those are all my notes. We got sidetracked, but it's pretty inoffensive.
We need to talk about Knowing What I Know Now, because we haven't talked about that. I actually think that's the best song in this entire musical.
I'll be completely honest with you. I do not have a note about that song, and I'm not even remembering which one that is.
That's the Let's Start a Revolution. You've been deceived. Magnifico is not the man he claims to be. Yeah. And they're all just fuck him, we'll fight him, we'll make things right. And then all of a sudden the queen bursts in and everybody stops. And there's a pause.
And then she
goes, I've seen too many bad things that I can't keep count. Oh, it goes so hard. It's oh, man. It's like Bet on It in High School Musical 2. You're like, fuck yeah, let's go.
It is not on the level of Bet on It.
You're right. It's better than
dare you.
It's better than Bet on It. It's better than Bet on It. Shut the fuck up. It is better than Bet on It.
Bet on It, I will put on a playlist and listen in the car.
Bet on It's not even the best song in its movie.
Now, the visuals.
Not even the best song
in High School Musical.
Gotta Go My Own Way. Kicks Bet on Its ass every day.
You're right.
And twice on Sunday.
I feel like they're close. Gotta Go My Own Way is better, but Bet on It is right up there. This one, I feel like I need
we are talking
I can't
Gotta Go My Own Way.
What
Bet on It. Holy shit!
That wasn't that far apart.
It was that far apart. You kidding me? It is absolutely that far apart. Gotta Go My Own Way. I would do that as a karaoke song. Would I do Bet on It if I wasn't trying to be overly cheesy? No.
Dramatic. Okay. My biggest thing with the drop off is Knowing What I Know Now is far below both of those. Knowing What I Know Now, you need the visuals with it, in my opinion. I'm not putting Knowing What I Know Now on in the fucking car. That's not adding to
Hell yes,
playlist.
you are. Do it on the way to work tomorrow and tell me it doesn't fuck you up for the day. Just let's go. A revolution hit the ground running.
Okay. Okay. I will report
Put it
back.
on. Put it on. Good Lord. Talking shit about that song. Man, you gotta be kidding me.
I don't know. It didn't do anything. I had zero notes about that song when
you were scrolling through Hawk Tuah memes.
Dude, I watched this a month ago. Hawk Tuah was not even a thing then. Spit on that thing. I just gotta say it. There's now people that are trying to I was seeing this today. It's the new Hawk Tuah girl, and it's someone that's just trying way too hard because they've seen the Hawk Tuah stuff.
You can't force these things.
You really can't.
Dude, I am disappointed in you.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not. It's
you
not.
No notes. You don't even remember.
I know. I listened to the soundtrack today while I was making dinner to refresh for it. I threw the soundtrack on, ran through it. Yeah, it's a fine song. I just didn't do much for me.
Let's
do much for
not
me.
though count on your memory when you forgot that "Gotta Go My Own Way" is in High School Musical 2.
Okay, that is a fair argument. Gotta
You
Go My
really
Own Way
lost a
was on
lot of
my
credibility in my book when
the
you're like,
last
"What's
Disney.
better than Bet on It?"
Yeah, no,
Dude,
that's fair.
please.
When we did our Disney movie song draft,
Gotta
I don't
go.
remember if it was you and me or me and Rayleigh. Gotta Go My Own Way was like my second draft
Gotta
pick.
say what's
Gotta
on
Go My Own
my
Way
mind.
fucking slaps. Do we still
What
say
about
slaps?
us?
Well, do
What
people
about
still say slaps?
everything we've been through?
Question.
You
What about trust?
know I never wanted to hurt you.
What about me?
You just changed registers and keys. You went from head voice to chest voice.
I did. This isn't like this is the casual musical show. I do not have musical skills. Son of a bitch. There was something I was going to say. That's fair.
It's
You could be
probably
disappointed in
stupid,
me.
like the
I'm used to
last
that.
10 minutes of what's coming out of your mouth. Good lord.
Yeah, we've devolved a little bit.
God.
God damn it. It was
Nope. Don't even
it was
try.
something. Nope.
Probably
it was something.
not.
It was something. The new Zac Efron movie, A Family Affair on Netflix isn't half bad.
I started
bad.
Iron
Not
Claw
bad.
and was
Rom-com.
really enjoying it.
I loved Iron Claw. It was great. I was wondering who's watching it on my Vudu. It was you. It's great. Some bad haircuts. It's a great movie though. I enjoyed it.
He's huge. Dude, he got
I'm not gonna remember.
yoked.
Dude. He got fucking jacked.
Gigantic.
Had to be steroids.
It definitely was. 100%.
And Jeremy Allen White too.
He was
Just
great.
jacked.
Oh,
how
are you
far
watching
into
The
that
Bear
movie
right
did
now?
you get? I haven't
he's
watched
on a
season
date
3
with
of
that
The
girl.
Bear. Okay. I haven't watched season 3 of The Bear yet. I've heard mixed things so far about season 3.
What? Who doesn't like that movie? Probably people who didn't like Knowing What I Know Now.
No, I'm talking about The Bear.
I know. I'm sorry, who doesn't like
you said
season
that movie.
3?
Is season 3 solid? I haven't gotten to it at all. I'm finishing Sopranos.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be consistent. I have like 3 episodes left of Sopranos, which this is my hot take of The Sopranos. Everyone's like, this is one of the best shows ever. You need to watch it. You need to watch it. It's fine. It's good. I do not like a single character in this show. Everyone in the show fucking sucks.
You're not supposed to.
But why am I going to like? I don't know. I need to have at least some person that I kind of like in the show. I don't like anyone. Like Tony's the closest one that I like.
Who do you like in The Godfather? Who do you like in The Godfather?
I've only seen the first Godfather and I didn't love it.
Fuck you. You didn't love it?
I didn't love it. I didn't love it. We had a conversation about this because you told me to watch The Godfather.
Yeah, fuck off. What the hell, man? How do you have how do you host a podcast trying to like review and analyze things and have such a horrible taste?
This isn't a mafia movie podcast.
I don't care. This is just like, do you have a penis? You love The Godfather. This is like as like gender essentialist as you get. Like that's just like, are you a man? You love The Godfather.
Are you a man? You have to love The Godfather if you're a man.
Yes.
This is
absolutely this is the test. White man.
I don't know.
White man. I mean that. I want to be very clear.
Oh,
are you a white
man? This is
man?
what I was going to ask.
Are you a white man?
As a white man,
why
can I say serving or a straight white man? Can I say serving?
No.
Or can I not?
No.
No.
Not? Nope.
Can I say serving?
Bleep it when you edit this. Bleep it out. You can't say that unless you're from Europe or Australia, New Zealand.
No, I can say.
No, you can't say.
I can.
Don't say the word.
He's being very. I can say.
Absolutely, 100%. I fully embrace the like odd gendered. It's not.
Here's the
it's
thing.
not just for women.
I would never.
Guys can be.
I
Guys are
want to
normally.
say. I would
However,
never
you
call
can't
a.
say. I hope you believe
That's
every single one of
disrespectful.
these out.
I
What's
would never
disrespectful?
call a woman a. That's disrespectful.
Definitely not.
Call a woman a. But
no,
I could call you a, and that would be fine. I
it
say
would
you're
not
being.
not in America
accurate.
because not in America.
No, this is America.
Not in
I
America.
have freedom. I can say whatever I want.
You don't have
That's what
freedom.
the amendment says. The amendment says I can have my assault rifle and I can say it is
Your
in
rights
the
are against the
Constitution that
government.
I can say it's
Constitutionally.
Brad,
Their
we
rights
have the
against
Constitution.
government, not rights
No, it's
against
right there.
society.
It's the Constitution. It's the Constitution.
God damn it.
I can say it.
That's good. That was the best thing that's come out of your mouth
Right?
for like 10 goddamn minutes.
Thank you. I'm also banking on my bosses shut the podcast off at this point.
I hope so. You're
but-
bleeping all of these.
Yes.
The Constitution.
Mhm.
That was good. I'll
Thank
give
you.
you that one.
Thank you.
That's
It's not gonna get any better than that. I think we need to end now.
Yeah.
Close on
All right.
Constitution. That's the name
Let
of the episode.
Let me end this. Let's
Yes.
end this Wish episode. Clearly, this is not making any top 10, top 5 draft anythings. Maybe this Wish reprise or Knowing What I Know Now
Mhm.
belong on playlists of some sort. Give me 5 Disney villains that are better than Magnifico, and 3
Ursula.
Disney opening tracks that are better than Welcome to Roses.
Ursula,
Wholeheart.
Scar.
Yep. Okay, I'll wait to see what else you come up with.
Frollo.
Frollo for sure is the best.
Hades.
Worst Disney. Come on, you could do better than that.
Okay.
Mother Goddle.
I will go. What?
Mother Goddle.
Who'd you say?
Mother Goddle.
Is that from Tangled?
Tangled.
I've seen Tangled once.
Rewatch, babe.
So I don't know. Okay, so we'll say that.
I thought you a little drunk.
Yeah, that was odd. What's the fucking Sleeping Beauty one that they made the spin-off movies with Angelina Jolie?
Maleficent.
Maleficent. And then Cruella de Vil. Boom.
Cruella. Good. They're out there. I would put actually Prince John is better than Magnifico.
Mm-hmm.
Prince John does the stupid selfish ruler so much better
Agreed.
than Magnifico does.
He should be known as John the Worst.
Should be.
Mm-hmm.
Disney has so many great villains, so many memorable villains that Magnifico just kind of he fails because he's the guy from Tarzan, the hunter dude.
Mm-hmm. I don't know his name.
Yes. I can't remember his name, but absolutely he belongs on that list. Magnifico, much like the movie in general, suffers because he's an amalgamation. He's taking different facets of other bad guys, and he's not his own thing. You never feel like you're watching your own thing. I don't like Wish is like half its own movie, and what's there is generally good, and half just lip service to 100 years of Disney, which I know is kind of the purpose of the movie, but that really bogs down what actually stood out in the movie. And I think the same thing is true for Magnifico. He suffers because you're trying to pull in different things that had worked in the past, and you didn't just like actually narrow down and like subtract him to his like most identifiably villainous trait. Out of my microphone, we're gonna finish like this.
You son of a bitch.
3 openings better than Welcome to Roses.
3 openings better. After Today from a Goofy movie. One of the top
Disney.
The Circle of Life.
Bradley
from
Uppercross the
Lion
Third
King.
better than Magnifico. What's the other one? I didn't hear you what you said.
And I said After Today from Goofy
Yes.
Movie, Circle of Life from Lion King, and then the Family Madrigal from Encanto. Like there's others, but that's the first one that popped into my head. Let's hear
Encanto.
yours.
Um,
Encanto. Sorry.
I absolutely agree with Family Madrigal, if only because it does the exposition dump better
In a good way.
in
Yeah.
a very good way. Circle of Life is a really good choice, but I'm actually gonna put the the ice hewing song from Frozen, not because it's just like oh, oh the cold and winter, like it's memorable, like it actually gets you in that. Whew. I think that works super well. Um, and Bells of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the Bells of
I
Notre
almost said that
Dame
one.
kicks so much ass. Uh,
If
it's great.
if this was just animated in general, Deliver Us from The Prince of Egypt is up there.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
I also think that just like uh, I don't know what the first song from Tarzan is, but that Phil Collins soundtrack is incredible.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Two Worlds, One Family.
Yep.
One of the
It
best
is.
Disney songs.
So yeah.
So
Agreed.
it's one of those that when it's new enough for us to think of it, which will be good, but it has done nothing well enough to cement its legacy or place in the canon of great Disney movies.
Agreed. Agreed. All
Well,
right.
I think that
That's
wraps it
gonna
up.
do
I
it.
gotta go put a little dirt under my pillow for the Dirt Man.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Signing off.
What? The fuck is the Dirt Man?
If you don't know, if you have to ask, you don't need to know.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching, listening. Hopefully if you Google the Dirt Man, it's not something weird. Thank you
That's
all.
weird.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. What?
Also, Jeremy Jordan, please come on the podcast.
Yeah. And Michael Mott. I'm actually going to be reaching out to Michael Mott and trying to get him on the Redder. I have a list of questions and everything that in my
Look,
pitch to get him on the podcast. Like
I'm a
it's
great
thought out.
interviewer. I am a great interviewer. So please have me on at the same time as Michael Mott.
Okay, we'll see. I'm a lot easier to schedule myself than getting you on here.
Look,
with your
if we're
children
interviewing
and
Michael
your other
Mott,
priorities.
if we're interviewing Michael Mott, I'm there.
Okay, we'll see. I'll let you know. Thank you all. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tag Michael Mott, Jeremy Jordan, and the Hoochie Coochies that Brad mentioned. And we'll see about getting them on the pod. What was the band you mentioned?
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
They are
Close
fantastic.
enough.
I think it's a solo.
Waxahachie. Solo. Okay,
KC
Waxahachie.
based musician.
There you go. All right. Thank you all. That was our review of Wish. Hopefully it lived up to your month-long anticipation expectations. Thank you all. Don't forget to go down once more. Later.
That's recording. My thinking. It's been a long week already.